Hey everybody, it is a beautiful morning. It is April 19th and it is my birthday. I've got some notes here I want to talk to you about. This is a little bit of a motivational video. It's very different, but that's what I'm doing today. I think it's going to help somebody. And if you know a young man or woman that will resonate or maybe learn from my mistakes and my successes, share this video with them. But you'll notice I had to put the poultry fencing up, and I made this fancy gate to get in this chicken coop because the chickens tore the plastic off my garden. Come on, you stupid chickens. And so they're being locked up. Now, let's walk around the pond. Since you've already hit the like button, subscribe and ring the bell. Oh guys, I hate saying that. This is gonna be like me and you sitting in the truck seat on the way to work, visiting. That's the way this video is gonna roll out. So, I'm turning 40 today, and I had a lot of things that I wanted to be done by 40. And I hit most of them. And it turns out life doesn't really get started till 40. You know? It's odd. But I want to get into it, and the first thing I want to bring up is what helped me the most in my career, my life, in this journey of life, is doing what you say. I have not always done that, but I have quite a bit as well. And towards the after 30, I would say 32, I really started trying to do exactly what I said. And when you start doing that, and I'm gonna give you a few examples. When you start telling people exactly what you're going to do and then you do it, they will start being scared. They will start to tremble when you tell them what you're going to do. Like, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. My wife didn't, she wasn't real crazy about that. Or, hey, I'm going to build a big pond right here. And then a lot of people don't believe you, and then you do it. Or, hey, I'm going to retire by 40. Nah, you won't. They do not want you to succeed. Most people, and we're going to talk, maybe this will be an hour-long video. Most people do not want the best for you. Sorry, that's the way it is. That's what I've experienced. If you get in shape, that was one of my goals. I said, I'm going to get in shape and I'm going to look like Superman. Nah, you won't be able to do that. Just negative stuff. And then I did it, and what it did mostly is it put a big target on my back for all the insecure. Oh, you must be on steroids. You must be doing something because, yeah, I'm eating 10 egg whites and oatmeal every morning. Are you doing that? It gets really, really old. But just know, these people are suffering a fight from within. They cannot be happy for somebody else, and it is so important. If you don't know how to be happy for somebody, figure it out. Whatever it takes, fake it. Fake it at first. Be genuinely happy for somebody when something happens. So they get a new vehicle, and they're all excited about it. Be happy for them, even if they owe on it for 7 years and it cost them $80,000. That's what they like. They like being in a bunch of debt. So be happy. Try to be happy for them. It's hard for me to do that. It's hard for me to get happy for people when they move into a new rent house. None of that stuff makes sense to me. But I legitimately try to be happy for them. Because I know how good it makes me feel when people are happy for me. So I got in the best shape of my life. And it made a bunch of people feel uncomfortable. And they weren't happy for me. But that's okay, That's a great way to sort the wheat from the chaff. Because you do not want those kind of people around you. You don't want jealous people. I have cut jealous people out of my life left and right and never looked back. I am not going to be around jealous people that do not want the best for me or anybody else. that attitude like, oh, he's got that. I wish I had that, and he had a pimple on his butt or something like that. You know, I've heard that before. I do not want to be that way. Man, I really sucked the pond down. Left the siphon pipe on, and it pulled about 2 foot of water out of it. Stacey was not happy, not at all. So that was one of the, well, actually, later goals was getting in shape. I really got bad out of shape. I didn't know if I could do it either. But I hit that one, and I learned how. I learned how to stay that way. Because it's not just a, oh man, I wish I could have seen that. Some doves just flew off. It's not gonna stay that way for most people. Most of the time, getting in shape's like a goal, and they think they're just gonna get there and that's the end of it. No, you gotta figure out how to work at it, because how you get there is how you get to stay. I'm actually building a channel on how to help people get in shape. I'm not really advertising it at all because I want it to grow organically, and I want to get enough stuff over there where it's actually helping people and going. So I'm not even going to tell you about it. Maybe in a few weeks. But now this started when I'm all over the place. Sorry guys. Because I am dyslexic and I have ADHD. Ha! So take that, college graduates. All the people that said I was going to dig ditches and flip burgers. It's I've had to eat some crap in my life, and that was probably the hardest one to swallow, is being told you're not going to be able to do this, that, and the other. And if you want to get me to do something, that is just about the best way. Tell me I can't. I successfully do stuff that other people can't do every day. Every single day. You can't do that. Yeah, okay. It's just, you're just saying that because you hadn't seen it before. Now, this started when I got notes here, I'm not even reading them. This started when I was about 15, 16, I'm not sure. It was in the 90s. I saw a truck that I wanted. 1977 Ford 4-wheel drive, short wheelbase. It was beautiful to me. It was just an old pickup to the man that had it. And it had grass growing up around it, and I stopped, or made whoever I was driving with stop, and I had to go knock on the door, see if I could buy it, because that's just the kind of kid I was. So went to the door, and he said, oh son, the rear end's out of it. He said, just bring me $1,000 and you can have it. So I was working at a sandwich shop, making sandwiches at LaBella's in El Dorado. And you know how many sandwiches you have to make $1,000? That was a lot in the 90s. So I saved, worked and saved, and showed up at his door with $1,000 in my hand. I was happy. I'd hit my goal. I had achieved what I set out to do. And he couldn't believe it. He was like, I didn't expect you to come back. And he said, well, I didn't really want to sell the truck, but since I told you that, I guess I will. And that's the first time I ever miscounted money and handed the man the wrong amount of money. And he thought I was trying to rip him off, and I'll never forget it, because I wasn't. But it's important for both parties to count the money. Just something I learned early in life. So that was the first thing that kind of, hey, that felt good. It felt good to do something that nobody else can do, that most people can't do. I'm not bragging on myself, guys. If I could go back, I swear I would work so much harder earlier in life. I wasted so much time in my 20s, early 30s, fishing. And I know people in here, you guys love to fish and hunt. I do too, but I had to put all that away so I could get going. I had goals I had to achieve for me and my wife, and I didn't want to work until I was dead. I did not want to work in the oil and gas industry when I was a broken old man. I wanted to be able to do other things and go places and travel and have businesses that paid me. I wanted to be wealthy. That is my goal, is to be wealthy. You know, and wealth it means something to everybody in a different way. Pretty sure I said that backwards. But, you know, wealth to me is being able to do whatever you want, help whoever you want. You're not tied to a job. And a lot of people, I know I worked for a bunch of people that didn't like me, and I had to do whatever they said anyway. I did not want to do that. I fantasized about wrapping my hands around some people's throats that I'd worked for, inspectors and consultants. I did what they said. I was able to make them happy. But I didn't want to be doing that my whole life. So I set some goals to retire. And, I say retire. To not trade my time for money every day of my life by 40. That's what I wanted to do. And that's what I set out to do, and that's exactly what I did. Thank God I achieved my goal. Today's 40, and I don't have to get in that welding truck anymore and go anywhere and weld. But I can. I have the skill. I have the trade. It's a great trade. It's been good to me. It's not that I don't like it, and I encourage everybody to do it. I've actually got a welding channel, Taylor Welding. I'll put it in the description. If you know somebody that is way better at building things with their hands than they are diagramming sentences and doing, other low ROI activities like that, you might check out the welding channel, because legit, you can make above $150,000 really easy. And then there's some people that make way over 200. I know one guy that was making 300, but he was trading a lot of his time for money. Okay. You can really make a lot of money doing that trade. I'll leave it at that. But it was something that I could do, that I was interested in, I was good at. But it's just like anything else. When you're I'm gonna do this trade, whatever that may be, try to do the portion of it that makes the most money. Because that's why you're there. You're there trading your most valuable asset for money, your time. You're trading your life for this money that you can do whatever you want with. Now you can buy, if you're a welder, you can buy a big, nice $75,000 truck. And you can buy a brand new welding machine and rig it all. You can have $130,000, or probably way more, in your work vehicle, which made absolutely no sense to me. I've made over $1 million, probably twice, out of a truck that I paid $3,500 for. Yes, I had to fix it up. It took about $6,000 to fix it up. But there's no need in it. There's no need in trying to keep up with the Joneses, because the Joneses don't care. They don't care about you, your goals and your dreams. They just want to look pretty and good. They don't care if they're in debt. They're enslaved to the banks. Own what you want. Figure out what you want and figure out a way to own it, not make payments on it. All right, I really am all over the place. Well, guys, I guess when you start setting goals and you start achieving them, it is an awesome, awesome feeling. And I just want to take a minute and tell you guys, I appreciate you being here. I want to help you, whether it be getting the body of your dreams. If you want to be a welder and make a ton of money, I'll help you do that. And I'm going to try to keep bringing the news and things that are actually happening around us as society collapses. I mean, it's happening. I know it's happening. It's hard to wrap my mind around how bad it's really going to be. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of an optimist. And I hope we're not there yet, but we're fixing to have to start talking about war in a whole new, literal kind of way, like inevitable. It looks to me. There's too many things lining up. But until then, hit your goals, guys. Make some goals. Set the bar high, and make milestones along the way. I'm going to do this before, and if you don't get it, don't worry about it. If you're dieting and you fall off the wagon, forget about it. Tomorrow is a new day. You can start from scratch the next day, but you got to start today. There is no starting tomorrow. You go ahead and start today and fall off and then do it again tomorrow. You know, fix whatever it was that you failed at. Because there is no failures, man. There's only learning opportunities. Speaking of the learning opportunities, my failed business. The economic ninja keeps telling me, don't call it a failed business. Well, it kind of was. I did, and I like to tell you about my failures as well, because it's important, because we all do it. Nobody's going to get it right, especially the first time. I don't think I've nailed anything right the first time. I always had to, screw it up first. I mean, even when I was a little kid, my mom said, don't touch that burner, it's hot. I just always had to I learned my lessons good and hard. But my failed business was the gym rat. Some of you are familiar with it, some of you not. I'll put a card up here. It is the most ultimate piece of workout equipment on the planet. That's what I set out to do, in my opinion. To do what you need to do what I did, as far as getting in shape, it was the end all be all. This is it right here. After all the work, all the powder coating and moving and packaging, I was making less than $500 per unit. I would have gone broke if I'd have kept going with it. But I still got about 10 if anybody wants one. They are awesome. I'm not making any more, there's no money in it. But I took all that knowledge, all that. It cost me probably $30,000 or $40,000 to do all this. But I was able to take all the knowledge that I learned from that failure and turn it into a much more profitable business later in a different project. I'll show it to you in 6 months or so, because I can't right now. But just do it. Whatever you've got in your brain, put it in your hand. And I know you guys, a lot of you are tradesmen, a lot of you have great minds, are big thinkers, and you have these ideas. And this is me, if I can think about it in my mind and put it in my mind's eye, I can put it in your hand or my hand. I have that ability to think through it and make it work. And that doesn't mean it'll sell, but I'm just saying when you achieve that goal, even if it is a failed business, you're going to learn so much. You're going to learn so much, and it's going to help you on the next project and the next one. And you might go through 5 failures. It doesn't matter. It does not matter, because number 6, number 10, number 15, what if that's the $1 million idea? What if that's the $10 million idea? And you're going to learn something on each step. I've been through the rental properties. I know how to do that, man. I am so excited about getting more. I've already sold mine just because, I say it all the time, but historically, people quit paying rent when food prices get around 35-40% of a man's paycheck. We're already at about 22%. It just made sense to me to do that. But I'm going to own 100 doors one day. That's a goal of mine, to own 100 doors. I don't know how or where. Well, I know how, but I'm not sure how it's going to play out. I don't know if it'll be multifamily. I really don't know. But it's something you can work towards right now. It's things you can put in place. How to run numbers. Go ahead and figure that out, man. Stacey's done videos on it. How to screen tenants. That's a big one. Big one. Go ahead and put those things in your toolbox. Get them, fine tune them, put them in your toolbox. Make notes. Get your bankers on board. Get everything, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, Chris, everything's collapsing. Why would you buy rental properties right now?" Everything is always changing. Yes, we might go. It looks like we're gonna go to war. But it's easy. The easy thing to do is ball up in a hard knot and buy some food that doesn't go away, that doesn't expire, and crawl in a hole and just hide. That's the easy thing. Bugging out is this very, very simple mindset. If you can get your preps, and then be prepared to crush it. Get your food, get your preps, get out of debt, and get prepared to just really do well in whatever environment comes, whatever it may be. You know, I've got chickens, I've got a garden, I've got all the preps. I'm doing everything I'm telling you guys. I'm not some talking head that tells you I'm doing a bunch of stuff and I'm not. I'm trying to do everything I'm telling you, and you know, lead by example. And that's really it, guys. I just want to get on here and say thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for being here. We've got a lot of stuff coming over this next, during this next downturn. I told myself I wasn't going to edit this, and I'm not. I just want to be real with you guys. We got a lot of stuff coming, and it's going to be really, really exciting. And I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. Later.